Is good, everybody? What a beautiful Saturday it's been, man. It's been an outstanding Saturday for me. The weather has been perfect here in Columbus, Ohio. I was at the fall camp practice this morning. It was like a perfect fall breeze. The sun was like peeking through the cloud early in the morning. As I was walking into the practice facility. I got a lot to say. I got a ton of notes. And I saw a lot of Buckeye Scoop fam. It was great to meet y'all in person. Great to put a face with a screen name. It's just been a wonderful day. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what's going on with the buzz, with the camp, some standout players, some guys who I feel like I've slept on. I can't wait to talk about it. And first and foremost, before we get into anything, please take a second. See that little thumbs up, click it, click like. If you have not subscribed, why not do it now? Don't wait. Go ahead and hit subscribe. You know you want to. You're going to watch anyway. Get the notifications. Click that bell as well. But also, we have 28. I'm going to surprise some of y'all. Jonathan Wells days until August 30th, kickoff versus Texas. Listen, I picked Jonathan Wells over Beanie, not because I love Beanie. That's my guy. But Jonathan Wells doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion. He was the key cog for turning the tide with the rivalry back in 2001. He helped fulfill the promise from Jim Tressel at the basketball game at halftime in 365 days up in Ann Arbor. Our guys are going to make them He had 3 touchdowns, 129 yards against the team up north that day to seal the upset victory on the road in the Big Blouse. Shout out to my guy, Jonathan Wells. You don't get enough credit. Use a real one. Appreciate you. But listen, man, one last thing before I bring in the guest of the show. We got to make sure we understand that the Pay It Forward is in play for our military, our first responders. When you do a super chat, when you give a super chat, that helps to go to them because we're going to look out for them because they look out for us. Y'all know the drill. All right, let's bring in our guest. We got the man, Funky Buck. And we got the man, Dev, from the Buckeye Boys. What is up, fellas? Our guy, Nevada Buck, is traveling today, so could not make it on the show. But, hey, I got my brothers with me. It's been a minute since we rocked with each other on the show. I'm very excited about this. How y'all feeling?
I'm good, bro. It's not a bad time to jump on and do some updates, man, huh? After the first 3 fall camp practices underway, got into pads today. So there are too many updates to discuss in one show, but that's always a good thing. We'll have some overflow for some other shows we can do. But, man, good timing for us 3 to get back on here and talk some Ohio State football.
Absolutely, Funky. What's good, man?
What's up, B. Moses and Dev? Happy to be back. First show I've been on since the Scoot meetup, and man, that was a fun time. We had a good time there. Thank you, David, again for putting that on. For those who don't know, there's a golf outing we do yearly for the members of the BuckeyeScoop.com message board, and it was amazing to get to know everyone. It was my first time going. Got to see a lot of people, meet a lot of people for the first time. And, man, it was just a ton of fun. I didn't play much good golf, but a lot of other people played some great golf, ate some nice food, and got to spend a lovely time with, the Scoop family in Ohio. So, but now I'm back, and cannot be more excited to talk about Buckeye football since we're, 28 days away from game day. It feels like we just won the national championship, Moses and Devin.
Did you wake up feeling that way, though?
I absolutely woke up feeling like a national champion. I woke up really tired, but at the same time feeling like a national champion, and always got to remind myself of that because, no matter, you can't take that away. That's the famous quote by Ryan Day. We're not defending champs because we're not defending anything. You can't take us away. So the only current defending champs right now is Michigan. So.
That's funny. Real quick, did you play golf at the outing?
I did not play golf. That is not. But I rode around in the golf cart, said my highs. But golfing, not my cup of tea. I'd be out there for probably 7 hours to finish 18 holes. So, but it was good. Great time seeing everyone else play golf, and ate some nice food, drank a lot of coffee, and it was a great time. Everyone that was there seemed like they had an amazing time, and I hope to see all y'all back next year.
That's dope. Dev, did you play golf at all?
I play golf every week. I love golf.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to get down to one of those.
Okay.
Up to one. Yeah, up to one.
So I might, whenever we link up, we might have to go to putt. Listen, I'm very proud and borderline arrogant when it comes to, playing football and basketball. I'm confident. I'm good at those sports. Like, I'm not saying I'm a Hall of Famer, but I was good when I played. But golf, listen, I know I'm trash. I went to Top Golf one time, fellas. I was so embarrassed trying to swing, just a basic swing. I was so trash. So I need lessons. Mainly not so much on putting, but just actually like, striking, like, what's it called? Happy Gilmore in the ball.
Driving it, hitting the ball, making contact with the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just a side note, I need golf lessons. That's one thing I am trash at. And I will proudly admit that. Whatever, it is what it is. But anyway.
Hey, we might have to get on them basketball courts too and take some people's money. If you're a baller, I can hold my own. So hey, man.
Yeah.
We gotta
listen. The J is still wet. I'm not as quick as I used to be. I'm probably not dunking on nobody today, but that J is still wet. So we can certainly make that happen. And it's funny, real quick before we get into the show, I got some footage of throwing and running some routes with some kids outside the practice facility earlier today. That was really fun and funny. So I'm gonna post that later on. But anyway,
dang, I thought you were about to play it. You can't bring up footage and not play it right away, dude.
Bro, listen, I've been behind.
Man.
I've been running all day. I haven't had a chance to even sit down and chop it up and all that other stuff. But
yeah,
I'm gonna post it. It's good stuff.
Okay.
It's fun stuff. But yeah, so listen, man, let's get into this. Like I said, I was at practice today, and it was great. It was a great experience. First of all, put on by Ohio State and just how it was all set up. And then, of course, the team, watching the team and their energy, their fire, the coaches, the flow of practice, the competition. I mean, it was really, really nice to see, and I was very impressed. And there's definitely players that jumped out at me. And I'm going to kick it off, and then we're just going to bounce back and forth and pass it off. Just rapid fire. I tell you, I'm gonna start with the tight end, y'all. I'm gonna tell you one guy who jumped out to me, and I was like, man, I've been sleeping on him because I don't really mention him, and that's Bennett Christian. Bennett Christian, he looked. Let me look at my notes so I can kind of just revisit. So yeah, I was talking about in the drills, and his size and physicality really stood out. He looks like a beast out there. He has soft hands catching the ball, but he looks intimidating, like just striking on blocking and just his size. He's noticeably bigger. And he just looked, you know how you look at a group and you see the alpha dog, like in the group. I'm not saying he is because we know that Max Clare is that guy. I'm talking about like the guy off the bus. Christian Bennett looks like the first guy off the bus in the tight end room. And when you see him move, when you see him in drills and just in playing, he really jumped out. And I was like, dang. I'm like, this kid, he just looked hungry and fired up. And we know what happened with him having to sit out a year. He looks like he's ready to go. And so I wanted to start out with that because that kind of really caught my eye because I've been so focused on Claire and even Jelani Thurman finally really putting it together. And then Kaz Merritt coming back healthy to help block. But yeah, Bennett Christian stood out to me, y'all. Any thoughts on that?
I forget that last year he really got the playing time over Jelani Thurman because he was our true, our tight end too last year. He was getting all those snaps with, Will Kazmarek was getting those tight end one snaps, but Bennett Christian was getting the second most amount of snaps than Jelani Thurman. So this year with Max Clare, the fact that Bennett Christian's our third best tight end in the room and Jelani Thurman's our fourth best tight end in the room is, that's the best tight end room we've had. Definitely in my lifetime, and maybe I can't say ever, but maybe ever. It's definitely, Max Clare that's 4 NFL players, maybe, Those are 4 guys that we're probably going to make a fall camp roster.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, it goes to show you what he's been through in his career. Let's just be honest. When you go through stuff like that, man, it's hard to have any type of bounce back, bro. And I think that kind of speaks to the culture at Ohio State. You know what I mean? We always hear about that culture and that brotherhood, but just think about, tight end has to sit out an entire year, man. and then is able to bounce back his first year and play like he did last year, and then, come back and is playing like you're talking about and looking like he's looking, man. But when it comes to tight ends, we know the Claire thing, right? The thing that I have, and I've spoken to, some sources around there. I know you were there as well. I've talked to several different people that were there, and two of those people specifically brought up Jelani Thurman in the red zone. They said the dude is next to impossible to stop in the red zone. That's music to my ears, because with a loaded tight end room like this, he's going to need to pick an area out, right, for himself to get on the team and make sure he can do, or get on the field and make sure he can do that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought him up, because Funky said something that I kind of gave him the side eye on in a joking way, but serious way. Am I joking or am I serious, Funky? But you said he's the third or fourth best tight end. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah, if you think about it.
No, listen. I'm not even mad at that comment. I guess from what I saw today and what I saw at the end of the season last year, and how deep this room is, because you're right, this is the deepest room I can ever remember. Like straight up. The last tight end room that I really, really loved, like overall depth wise, was probably when J.K. Dobbins was here, the 2019 team, and then going back to 2014, Nick Vannett and Hireman, just the duo of the great blocking and pass catching that they had. But even that, the depth wasn't like it is now. I'm saying that to say today, Jelani, to me, was walking around. He was like a leader out there. He was a vocal leader. He was getting early first team snaps. He played his tail off at the end of last year, especially blocking in heavy sets. This is Jelani Thurman, who that was his weakness coming in, was he wasn't blocking well. He was in there in the playoffs. So I'm not knocking what you're saying. Honestly, what you're saying really bolsters our point even more. It's just like pick your poison. I mean, literally, he can go in there anytime and get the job done in a 12 personnel look with a Claire and block, or with a Bennett and pass catch. I mean, we're so deep at tight end. It's crazy. So the fact that you're saying that isn't really a knock. It's more of a testament to how deep they are, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, again, they're all going to play in the NFL one way or not, or at least they're going to be fighting for a roster spot. I mean, if G. Scott he's still on a roster, he hasn't got cut yet, then all four of those guys can for sure, make a roster and, compete for an NFL spot, because they're all that talent. We all know how talented Jelani Thurman is. We saw how good Bennett Christian was last year. We know how good Will Kazmarek is. I mean, he was the best tight end on our team last year until he got injured. And when he got injured, we definitely noticed. And then Max Claire is, the All-American preseason. So, right. I mean, that he could be a first-round draft pick in next year's draft, maybe.
So are we ready to say it and give props to Keenan Bailey, who honestly, I had my doubts, bro. I had my doubts in Keenan Bailey with some things that we heard coming out of the Woody. Not that we heard, that we knew what's going on inside the Woody and different things. But man, Keenan Bailey he's solidifying his spot among those talent. Look at the coaches Keenan Bailey has been around: Chip Kelly, Ryan Day, Brian Hartline. So it's just like he's been there a long time, and he is really taking this tight end group to the best tight end room in the country. I mean, that's a mouthful, man. That's a mouthful.
I agree. And I think, and one last thing on the tight ends, I really think, because there's debate, we've been going back and forth. Is this going to be a 12 personnel heavy type, offense, at least starting out? Or are we going to just say, hey, we're going to sling it around, 4 wides and just sling it around? I mean, I think Bailey in this room is going to force Hartline and Ryan Day to play more 12 personnel. I mean, they're that good. And I think it makes a lot of sense breaking in a new quarterback, knowing that you can have those guys who are reliable blockers and can be pass catchers as safety blankets for Sayan and for Keen Hose. And we're going to get to them in a moment, of course. But this is going to be interesting, man, because I was listen, I know we haven't been tight end but I've been around for a long time. And to say this is the best tight end room that I've ever seen is that's still a testament. So I'm very excited about this room. But anything else on the tight ends before we transition to another position?
I agree with your 12 personnel. We're gonna have to run it, especially versus Texas, because it gives us the power to, have more blockers, protect Saiyan and different looks, give them more better pass protection looks, while also having that threat of the pass. Because Max Clare is he'd be another receiver out there, and when you have JJ Smith that takes so much attention, that's going to leave Clare open a lot of the time. And yeah, I'd be able to run a second tight end too, because Will Kazmarek made some great plays for us too. He did. My earliest memory is that Oregon long catch or pick or however you want to call it. But I mean, he was a threat. He was a threat for those first couple games until down with an injury. But yeah, we can go on to the defensive players.
Yeah, for sure. So how about y'all? Y'all can call out whatever defensive player you want to talk about. We can dive in. But yeah, I like that. Let's bounce back and forth from offense to defense. Y'all got anything? Dev, you got something?
I do, man. I do. Now, let me just say something. Huge fan of this guy. This guy was the 14th ranked defensive end in the country. Did not get a lot of fanfare from the Buckeyes because he came late in the class at a position that, quite frankly, man, has been taking a lot of heat here lately on the recruiting front. And it's always confused me because I've always thought the two guys we signed last year were elite. And this individual, Epi Sitanale, is who I'm speaking of. Freshman, not saying he's going to come in take starting snaps or even second team snaps this year. But what he is doing right now, I remember a lot of talk about Zion Grady because he was here early and people were super excited about him. Well, if you're going to be excited about Zion Grady, you might want to be excited about Epi as well because he has shown up and shown out. He's about 250 pounds right now, 6'5". I considered him the best defensive end out of the West Coast in his class, and that's a statement, and some other people did as well. So, man, you better start talking about this dude. Got another JT on the team, man. Just engine that does not stop. Work ethic that does not stop. He's only been here since June, and Body by Maradi Mick loves this dude.
Yeah.
Loves him. So, I mean, he is doing things, man. Made plays the first day, caused a fumble today, and he is just wreaking havoc.
Funky, you got anything on Epi before I hop in?
I mean, every single person that I've talked to that was at practice, that works for the Woody, that plays for Ohio State, has brought up a few players' names, and one of them has always been Epi. They've always said Epi, as in which freshmen look apart. And they go, or the main one, they go, Epi. The three ones they hear me say is actually Javon McFadden, Epi, and Devin Sanchez. Those are the three players that I hear over and over and over again. I mean, Epi, for all the crap that Larry Johnson's gone, how the defensive line has gone, I mean, this defensive line room is, mega talented. I have no worries about this year. I have no worries about next year. And with Epi on the team and Zion and those those defensive tackles, then I have no worries about that defensive line class. But I mean, Epi, he really built he was he's only got here in the summer. So he's only been here for a few months, and man, does he look apart. He just does. He looks like a guy who's going to get some serious playing time quickly. If it's not this year, then it's next year. Because, he's going to be fighting for every nick and cranny. And you see the emergence of other players like CJ Hicks. It's going to be all fighting for some PT. But, man, do we have a bunch of guys who I just am very confident about, especially on that defensive line.
How dare you, Funky? Our defensive line room is a poverty. We suck. No, but listen, I was watching him today. I had to do a double take, fellas, because y'all know he's wearing number 44, right? I know y'all know that. But do y'all know he's wearing? I had to double take because he's got the hair out the back of the helmet. He's got the 44 on. He's out there werewolfing off the edge. You talk about motor. I'm like, hold on. I thought JT was in camp, in NFL camp. It looked like Tui Malowau for a minute. But in his body transformation, seeing him in person, as I've said, I had the pleasure with Dev to interview him some months ago. I could even see on camera the difference, like upper body. He's bigger, and he looks the part. And so, again, these are kids that, you know, he came in late. He's a 4-star, but he's still not a shiny 5-star, you know, that everybody wanted, so that he gets ignored. But he's a dog. He might as well be a 5-star, the way he's coming and work, the way he's already playing. I mean, he's going to work his way by the end of the year in there getting some snaps. I'm not saying he's going to play a lot of snaps, but I think he's going to earn some time because he's been that good early on. And not to mention, he's just a great kid from a great family. That's just another great Buckeye that we've been able to bring in here. Shout out to Larry Johnson. Appreciate that dude for that. So absolutely. Epi, if you're watching, shout out, man. Much love for you. You did your thing today.
Mr. Satanale, he's watching for sure, man.
Yeah,
good friend of the show. Good friend of the show. Yeah.
Excellent parenting. Excellent parenting, by the way.
Yes.
So, all right. I got a ton of notes, man. Let me see who I want to hop on next. Who I want to talk about next. Let's talk about the running backs since we hopping back to offense. Okay. So I'm not going to start with the obvious one yet. We can get to that. We're going to talk about the running back room. Do y'all know who actually popped to me and stood out to me today? And I was like, hold on. I had to look at the number. Like, who's that? Number 21, Turbo Rogers, popped to me today. And it was two things. Number one, first of all, for those who don't know, he came in late. He just got here not too long ago, this summer. So he wasn't here for spring or none of that. The kid looks chiseled, like physically, he looks chiseled as a true freshman already. Very impressive body. And then on top of that, his burst. I mean, he's very quick and he has great burst. And Ryan Day was hyping him up before and after his carries. And you could tell Ryan Day was like, I think Ryan Day is like, hey, this kid's got something. Let me push him. Because when he was hitting that hole, fellas, it was now. And so I was very impressed with him running the ball, not just up the middle, but around the edge. I'm like, man, like this is one of those kids where if he went to another school, let's say he went to Purdue, he'd be the starting, halfback or, H, depending on whatever spread offense they run. He'd be in there playing. And it's just an embarrassment of riches. But I wanted to say that Turbo Rogers jumped out at me at practice, and I was just like, whoa, that's good to see. Any thoughts on Turbo?
I mean, he's the reason why we're not going after really a second running back in this class, or we're not willing to shell out big money for a running back in this class of 2026, because we got two guys in the class prior that are straight up dogs. I mean, Bo Jackson and Anthony Turbo Rogers. I mean, he was a flip from Alabama, Devin.
Yeah,
right.
He was.
Yeah,
yep.
Flip from Alabama, I believe. And he says in his name, Anthony Turbo Rogers. I mean, the kid's been a stud for a while now, and that's good for you to bring that up, E. Moses, because honestly, I have not heard much about him. So it's great to hear that he's looking like a stud and he's standing out. That's just adding more depth to that running back room, because the running back room is still a little bit shallow. I mean, you have James Heeples, and then you have CJ Donaldson and Bo Jackson and Anthony Turbo. And that's like four solid guys, because there was that one class where we got nobody in. So that hurts the depth a little bit when your running back coach strikes out on everybody.
You know, the thing that's sneaky about Turbo, man, is they always redo the rankings, right? Like, after they're signed. Does anybody realize where he ended up with running back rankings? What number running back he was in that class? He's the number 4 running back in the 2025 class.
He looked like it today.
Yeah, he
looked like it.
He is not a joke, man. When you compare him to even the running backs, the Akir Deer and the Harlem guy, he's faster than those guys are. And that's something that, I noticed in the camp settings, right? In the camp settings, when he goes through drills, when I saw the number 1 running back go through drill, and I was like, does Turbo, I had to rewind it. I'm like, Turbo really looks faster than this dude right now. We got number 1. And at the time he was ranked like the number 15th back in the class. He kept dropping and dropping. And all of a sudden, boom, number 4, dude. So he is, he's obviously freshman, came in late, got some stuff to work on. People are going to point out ball security right now, but show me one that doesn't struggle with something when they come into a football program.
Right. And Coach Lachlan, who is a unit in person, that dude, I didn't know his workout plan. That dude is solid as can be. But I was laughing because he was getting into Turbo. Because that's the thing. He's a freshman. He's just got here. He's flashing, but he's making freshman mistakes. And I love when Lockland is just going in on his guys because it's so funny. And it's needed, of course. You got to get after him. But real quick, Funky, let's not forget about Sam Dixon. Okay? I think Sam Dixon can provide some good depth. He actually carried the ball pretty well in mop-up duty, before he decided to transfer out and then come back in. I think he can provide some good depth along with Bo Jackson. Speaking of Bo Jackson, and I'll get right into him, that kid, that's another kid who I was just like, man, 25 is out there killing. I mean, for his height, he has really good pad level for his height, the way he runs. He doesn't run when he gets north, his pads are low. And that's something I can tell he's been drilling because, as a taller kid, as a running back, that's something that you have to really get drilled into you. And he gets north quick. His speed is deceptive. He's got those strides. I mean, he's quicker than you think. So Bo Jackson looked really good too, man. And so I was just impressed with Bo Jackson, Turbo's burst. And I haven't even touched on Peoples and Donaldson, and I will, but I wanted to, if y'all had anything to say about Bo Jackson first.
Well, I just wanted to remind people about that class, man. You wonder, favor a key, and we're not really going too hard after more. Isaiah West, Pennsylvania, the 27th ranked running back in the class, but at the time, the most physically college ready at the time, I'm saying. And then Bo Jackson, the 10th ranked running back in the class, and Turbo Rogers, the number 4. So for those of y'all that like to pay close attention to them rankings, that's 2 top 10 running backs in the same class. Like that's big time, man. So this running back room is in a great place, man. CJ Donaldson coming in from West Virginia. Yeah. I got to ask you about him as soon as Funky talks about Turbo. I want to know about CJ, if you happen to see him or not.
Or Bo Jackson. Did you want to say something about Bo, Funky?
That's what I meant.
It's just refreshing having such a nice running back coach and coaching us. It's a nice, refreshing. I just have to really, really say that again. It's really nice and refreshing having such a great recruiter at our running back position coach. And the running backs have been, we just had 2 of the highest drafted running backs in Ohio State history. They're pretty much both first round draft picks. Early second round is pretty much first round for running backs. And it's a blessing to have, because a lot of people are worrying about, the offense or the running back room or et cetera, et cetera. But no, I trust these coaches with everything, on not just Carlos, but them all, because they're all killing it. If we're being real, guys, I'm not just trying to say that as a homer. I'm just saying that straight up. They're all killing it. You can go coach by coach, and they're knocking it out of the park. So that's why I'm going this year being so positive, because there's just not a lot to be negative about, especially offensively. Offensively, we're going to be way better than we were last year. I think so. I think we're going to be way better offensively than we were. And then defensively, we're going to have some growing pains for sure. But man, I'm just ready to see what these boys do. And I'm excited to watch Julian Sand, and he has an absurd amount of weapons. Absurd amount of weapons. All he has to be is Brock Purdy. And I think he's better than that. No, seriously.
I feel you, but it's funny. You're right. You're right.
He has to be Brock Purdy, but in reality, he probably is closer to Rodgers than Brock Purdy. So I'm excited.
You guys and the chat, man, what are you most excited to see this year, the offense or the defense?
Good question.
It changes for me. But for me right now, it's the defense, because of what I'm hearing out of fall camp, man.
Listen, and that's a great – and we'll finish up with the running backs, but I'll save my comment. I will save my comment. Okay. I will get back to that, okay?
All right.
But real quick, and I want to try to move through this, because, you look up and it's like, dang, we got 3 more positions to go. So you know how that go. But real quick, Donaldson and Peoples. I'll start with Donaldson. So we know he shed weight. And we saw in the spring game, we saw his burst. Like, it was noticeable. He looked good in the spring game, and he looked good again today. He is not Peoples is the number 1 guy, but Donaldson is a load downhill. When he gets downhill and gets those pads low, he's a load to tackle. He makes a lot of guys carry him. Like, he falls forward. He's going to be a very good complementary back. 1-2 punch with Peoples, short yardage back. He's going to get you the tough 5-6 yards when there's maybe only 2. Like, I was impressed with what he brings to the table in his role. I'm not expecting him to be a superstar. I'm expecting him to be a solid, dependable, physical downhill running back, and that's what I saw today. And so that's all I got to say about Donaldson. Anything on him?
Just a reminder, we interviewed 4 Buckeye players, and every one of them voted C.J. Donaldson the number 1 player they do not want to tackle.
See, and that's what it looked like
just
today.
A reminder.
Did we lose Funky? Well, he'll come back in a minute.
Yeah.
And bro, that is what it looked like today. Like exactly. Like Cats didn't really. I mean, except for Sonny Styles. I mean, and we'll get to Sonny because he looked like a freaking monster out there today. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway,
hard not
Funky,
to.
Welcome back, brother. Did you want to say anything about Donaldson?
Oh, C.J. Donaldson. I mean, nothing besides for. He looked good in spring camp, and I think he's going to be a lot bigger role in the offense than people think, and I'm going to stick to that. That's all I really have to say about Donaldson. He's gonna make a bigger impact than you think, especially weeks 1 through 7.
All right, so let me tell you what I said in my notes about James Peoples. I said his burst jumps out at you, obviously, and it says, and defenders better tackle him low because he's running through high tackles with those jacks from Mortal Kombat arms. Gotta wrap him up or he will run through you. Listen, man, in person, we've seen him on the internet with the flexing with the arms. In person is a whole different animal, okay? And I know, listen, Nevada, I know you out, doing your thing, traveling. The other day he said he doesn't have the top end speed. I don't know about that. I think he might have more top end speed than you think, Nevada. And I'm not saying you're saying he's slow, but James Peoples, he looks the part. He looks like he's poised to break out. And so I think he needs the reps and the confidence of knowing he's the guy, and he's taken off. But again, we talk about Donaldson being a tough tackle. James Peoples, you cannot tackle him high at all. He will bully you with those arms. So he's the number 1 guy, but I was really impressed with the young guys and what they're bringing to the table already. And so, yes, this running back room is a little green depth-wise, but I think they're going to come on quick by midseason. I think we're going to see guys really start to pop out. Anything on Peoples, y'all?
James Peoples, he's got 4 or 5 speed, doesn't he?
Oh, at minimum. At minimum.
Yeah.
You watch his high school film. He's in Texas football. He's breaking long run after long run.
Yeah.
So he can break
it.
No,
literally the one thing that when I talked to people today, that when he got brought up, all they said is he's fast. That's what they said to me. You know what I mean? So I wasn't there, but they said he broke some runs, and when he gets out, he's fast, and he's gone.
Yep.
But
he looked it today, for sure.
I'm not worried about a running back room at all. With Coach Locke in there, that's my favorite coach on the team, by the way.
Yeah, he's up there for me too. He's probably my favorite. Also, Devin Jordan, my guy Devin Jordan. He's unsung. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does, even in practice today, working with the offense. He's really stepping in. He's always been important to Brian Hartline and to this receiver room. Recruiting, he doesn't get enough credit for recruiting. He's like a big part of some of these guys being brought in here. Don't sleep, but also coaching and really coaching these players up and just helping to run practice. He does a really great job. But let's talk about the O-line, okay? I'm sorry. No. Defense. Funky, did you want to say something about Peoples first?
I totally do.
My bad.
No, you're totally good.
I knew he did.
You're totally good. But I hate taking this stance, but I just have to put that out there somewhere. I think we're gonna miss Trayvon. I'm just gonna say that. I think we're really gonna miss Trayvon because his top end speed, his burst, his blocking is something that I don't think we're gonna see from a running back at Ohio State for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take the anti-people stance, but I'll just say it nicely that I think we're gonna miss Trayvon because of that. I don't think anyone could really fill that role as much as he can. And I think Peoples would be great, and I definitely think he's the best running back in the room, though. And I'm excited, but it'll be interesting. It's always interesting seeing a new player play, especially when you're replacing, two of the greatest running backs skill-wise in Ohio State history. So it's always going to be interesting thing, especially
Funky.
on week 1, we go versus Texas. Man, that's going to be what the heck. I remember why aren't we playing like Minnesota or some other team week 1? Like Texas, that's going to be a battle. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of overreactions. The team's going to look, imagine we look sloppy sometimes versus Akron. So imagine how we might look versus Texas, So I'm ready for the overreactions. That's what I'll say.
Funky Buck, the people's hater. Send tweets now.
Yeah,
Send
I was about to
and
say.
tag.
He's gonna go for 5 touchdowns now that I said that. He's gonna have a J.K. Dobbins
Bro,
Michigan game. Yeah.
This is what I'm hoping. No, Funky. This is what I'm hoping. Because just like our wide receiver room, how they keep passing the torch down to other guys on how to block, how to be physical, how to carry the torch. I'm hoping Henderson passed the torch down to Peoples with them big arms to say, hey, you need to carry the torch for how we block here at Ohio State. So I'm hoping it's been imparted to him, watching him every day in practice, for him to at least be willing to step up and do it. And so to your point, you're right. Trayvon Henderson is a man amongst boys in that regards, but people saw it every day. So I'm hoping he really steps up and tries to fulfill that role, to your point. So
yeah, you're totally right. He totally could be that good as well. Sorry, I'll let you talk after this, Dev. He totally could be that good. I'm just always going to be skeptical when you're replacing a guy who's good for as long as Trayvon Henderson. Because Trayvon Henderson was the best running back at Ohio State for 4 years. And I know he got all this crap for so long and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you look back at his 4 years at Ohio State and you're like, man, he was special. He was something special here at Ohio State, and I was going to give him his flowers because I'm telling you, he's going to be criminally underrated in all these record books because he was such an unselfish player who had some untimely injuries with his ribs and stuff, but he's going to be criminally underrated. I'm going to be sitting as a 60-year-old man on this podcast, B. Moses and Devin, and be like, Trayvon's the best running back I've ever seen, and people are going to bring up his counting stats, and I'm going to be pissed off. So I can already see the future in that.
I can just picture in your rocking chair. Trayvon Henderson was great. But no, listen, I feel you, and I'm not trying to make it seem like Peoples is just going to step in and just be Trey Henderson. I think he at least could follow the steps to get to that point, and that's my hope. But yeah, let's keep it moving. We got a lot to cover still. So defense, who wants to crack off the defensive side this time?
Funky. I did last time. It's your
Gotcha.
turn,
Okay. I think the biggest name to look out for the defense this year that I guess underrated, I would say, is Lorenzo Styles. I think Lorenzo Styles.
Funky.
Yeah. I just don't think. But we've said it before, and I'll say it again. He is not going to lose his starting role. He is not going to lose it. He's a player. He's a legit player who is competing. I know he was a transfer from Notre Dame and he's in his 5th year, but man, he could play. And there's a bunch of these young guys who we think is going to take the role because they're highly ranked out of high school. But man, I just don't think that's how it's going to work. I think Lorenzo is got his spot. I'm not going to say solidified, but I've him penciled in as a starter on the team, and I don't see that going away. There's no one that's really challenging that too hard. Obviously, we have a ton of talent there, so he's going to keep up this work and keep up this pressure. But his experience, his tackling, his physicality, his speed is something the Buckeyes are really going to look forward to this year, especially when we roll into a zone coverage. I think he's going to really excel. And he's been here for a while. He's an old head. You got to remember that. He's older. He's 2 years older than his brother.
And very mature. Very mature.
Very mature, and the family wants it. And it's his money year. He wants to make the NFL. So I think it's the year of the Styles family, and I think that they're both going to try to play into the NFL draft. I could see I can see them. I can see Lorenzo sneaking into the 7th round, and Sonny. Sorry, I always mispronounce Sonny Styles' name, so I avoid saying it at all costs. But I'm really looking forward to seeing those brothers show out, and I've been hearing great stuff about them the entire spring camp and summer camp.
Dev?
Yeah, I have written down on my notes to apologize to Lorenzo Styles. I'm not sure if I've ever said it like on a show, but I had doubt. I really did. And it wasn't so much I had doubt in him. I just knew what was behind him. Bryce West and Miles Lockhart and some of these other guys coming in. But there's an aspect to being on a team like Ohio State that us fans don't really see a lot, and that's that leadership aspect that the Styles brothers, Lorenzo Styles, bring to this team that is a must this year. It's a must. But just because there might be some people behind him that might have a little bit better skill set sometimes to play the nickel position, when you add the leadership ability of Lorenzo Styles, the experience, in a new scheme, quite frankly, with a new defensive coordinator this year, you want players like that leading the way. You got to have them, dude. And Lorenzo Styles and his blitzing, keep an eye on that one this year, because I was told that he's pretty good at that. For some reason, both Styles brothers are. So we'll see.
Yeah, so listen, we can just kind of hop all over the place with the defense because we got the O-line and QBs left, and the receivers, of course. But I think we should just really talk about the defense in general and then just finish off with the rest of the positions. But real quick about Lorenzo Styles Jr. He's not a flashy kid. I think he doesn't get real love because he doesn't jump out at you like a super flashy guy, but he's so well coached, fundamentally sound, in the right position, and I think he's just only going to get better this year. Like when you go back and watch the games like I do, you start noticing things. And I noticed Lorenzo Styles playing well, playing good ball, and PBUs and just playing good defense. And so I think he's definitely going to be one of those silent killers, that's just steady Eddie. And so I'm very excited about that. But moving on along, Sonny Styles, seeing him in person today, excuse me, it reminded me of I went to an open practice back in 2014, the year that we won the ship. And I remember seeing a linebacker in person a few feet away, who I now have recorded a fantastic song called You Know What Time It Is. It's available on all streaming sites. His name is Curtis Grant. And seeing him in person, I was just like, this dude is huge. He looks like a defensive end, but he's a linebacker. Lorenzo Styles, his bulk up, along with the fact that he still has burst and he's triggering much, much better. He played much better down the stretch last season than people want to give him credit for. And he just looks like an all-American monster out there. I mean, he just gobbles you up, and he's a unit out there. It's just hard to miss him. And so I think the year of the Styles is definitely a great thing to say. I'm very excited about Sonny Styles because, Funky, props to you because you bring this out a lot to remind people. Remember, he reclassified. Like he was thrown in there. He's still adjusting to the new position. Like, this is his year, in my opinion, to really, really, it's like, hey, yo, I know Arvell Reese is the golden boy right now. He's getting all the buzz, but Sonny Styles, dog, don't sleep on Sonny Styles. What y'all got on that?
I mean, it's Sonny's. I mean, I don't think anyone's sleeping on Sonny Styles, B. Moses. I mean, he's the preseason
in comparison to Arvell Reese and all the buzz he's getting.
Well, he's getting buzz, but I think that's because, I mean, Sonny Styles is literally the projected number one linebacker in the country. So,
man, listen, people, from my vantage point, it seems like he doesn't get, it's still kind of doubters, and he don't get the excitement for Arvell Reese. To me, as I kind of scan the landscape of fandom, it seems like he's getting more love and anticipation than Sonny Styles is. That's just from what I see.
Well,
I know we don't sleep on Sonny, but I think cats are sleeping.
People love what they don't have, B. Moses. So that's what it is. That's what that is. People love the that's why the backup quarterback is always the best quarterback on the team. The backup running back, the backup wide receiver. It's always put him in. For when you see him, not again. This is, I think, Arvell. Trust me, I have my own opinions on Arvell Reese, and I don't help with that Arvell Reese narrative because I mean I think I think Arvell Reese is going to be an absolute freak, absolute monster as a 3-star kid from Ohio. But I mean, Styles is going to be. I mean, it's stop. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that, and he's going to play himself into the first or second round in the NFL draft, no doubt. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. You know me pronouncing players' names has been horrible. So thanks for correcting me on Trayvon, right? Am I pronouncing that right now, B. Moses, Devin?
Yes, Trey is
And
who said was that B? Was that B who said
Yeah,
that?
B. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
she stay on your neck with the
Oh no, she
mispronunciation.
does. She does. She
Yes,
does.
it is Trayvon. Not
Trey V.
Trayvon, Trayvon. Thank
Trey
you, B. We
Beyond.
got you.
I know. I
Trayvon.
always screw that up, so my apologies there. Bro, pronouncing players' names is the hardest part of this entire job. Oh my god.
Oh man. That's funny. But
yeah,
go ahead,
yeah,
Dev.
dude, Sonny Styles, and he is playing the position that I am most excited to watch this year out of all the positions on the Buckeye teams, the linebackers, man. Sonny Styles, Moses, I get what you're saying by saying slept on in a sense of, and Funky brought it up, like people want what they don't have, and they also like shiny new toys. Arvell Reese is that shiny new toy,
Yes, he
right?
is.
So,
Yeah.
in that sense, Sonny's getting overshadowed when he needs
Yeah.
to be in the same conversations of Arvell Reese because of
Exactly.
that year of experience and stuff. But yes, remind people 17-year-old guarding Brock Bowers at the safety position, switches down to linebacker, had a rough start of the season last year, but was a pivotal player in the playoff last year. And he is going to feed off that momentum. And he's one of these players, he's going to be more famous in the NFL probably because he's going to get there and just absolutely tear it up. Dude, you wait and see. He's going to get drafted probably higher than we expect because when Sonny Styles gets tested, these GMs and scouts, they are going to be drooling, out of the side of their mouth wanting him on their team because he's just a specimen, man. And when you add into that the mentality and the leadership capability, and him and his brother started the foundation to help homeless people and the heart behind him and the whole package, man. He is the whole package. And he's about to tear it up this year, man. I mean, our linebackers this year, oh my gosh, watch out. And Riley Pettijohn has been just absolutely showing out as well.
Alford,
So
yeah.
Peyton
Yeah, for
Pierce,
sure.
all of them.
And listen, I'm just going to hit on the DBs in general. Like I said, we got to keep it moving and all that. So I want to talk about the DBs. Our DBs are arrogant and nasty, and I love it. Like that's one thing I don't think has been talked about is the how can I put it? The culture in BIA is just nastiness and arrogance and just defiance, and I love it. Aaron Scott Jr. out there was physical and just tough and confident. And I ain't even got to talk about Jermaine and Iggy. Iggy, he's physical as ever. And so, listen, I know, keep down the PI penalties. That's goal number one for him. But he is a tough dude out there. And he ain't backing down from nobody. But what I saw out there today from our DBs was very encouraging. I mean, they were fighting our receivers. Jeremiah Smith is going to get you. I mean, he's going to get you. But they was fighting that dude. Like Jeremiah who? Like, please. Go on. So, like, they were tough, and I loved it. And real quick, and before I pass the mic, we heard about Matt Patricia talking about using Caleb Downs more at the nickel position to potentially free up the two safeties of Hartford and McLean to play together. And so the fact that we have those guys that they're trying to get them on the field more because of Caleb Downs' ability to be versatile because he's so great, to me is great. Because it's one thing to have a safety battle. Like, okay, hopefully one of them are good. Both of them are really good and deserve to play. So that's very encouraging to hear that news. So I'm loving what I'm hearing and seeing out of our secondary so far. Which I got on that.
I mean, we were told. You go, Devin.
You including safeties in the DBs, right? We just
Correct.
rolling with them
Yep.
too,
Whole
right?
secondary. Yep.
Yeah. From what I'm hearing, if you go, the number one heated position battle this year was that extra safety spot beside Caleb Downs. If you stop that competition at the end of these 3 days, Jalen McLean is a standout in defense, is what I'm being told, along with Iggy. Iggy is he's just a dog, bro. He's just a dog. I know the PI penalties. He'll get that figured out, man. Devin Sanchez, Aaron Scott, obviously they're stars, man. Bryce West as well. But one we need to pay attention to, man. Remember this name. Miles Lockhart had a PBU today, and every time, spring, fall right when he gets in. Dude, Miles Lockhart's name gets brought up every time. I don't care, and it's in a positive light. So Miles Lockhart, not a highly rated person, which is why I didn't get talked about enough. But dude, this, our secondary is just, absolutely littered with talent, and with Iggy coming back, and Low Styles in there, Jermaine Matthews, people talking about first round corner type of, capability. That's scary when you look at our second string secondary and think, oh, well, you could swap them in and out and I'm going to be fine. I'll go with either one you want to pick there. Bryce West, Lenzo, Low Styles, Aaron Scott, Devin Sanchez, swap him in and out. I'm cool with it. That's not many teams can say that.
McLean and Hartford have both proven themselves that they could play here at Ohio State. And they're both going to be, fighting to get on the field. And one, they've already seen the field. People kind of forget that because we think just the starters play or just the healthy starters play, But in reality, that's not how it works, especially that secondary, especially that safety position. We rotated a lot. And Hartford and McLean both saw the field quite a bit here at Ohio State. And they both looked good when they were doing it. And they clearly, McLean was a Iron Buckeye. And they were both dudes of the week. I think they each got dudes of the week once, and McLean was an Iron Buckeye, which is absolutely nuts. So they're both putting in the work, and they're both, training their butts off. And that is a heated battle that I don't think we'll ever really see a declared winner of. I think we'll just kind of see he goes out there every now and then. With Caleb being able to, roll down to the nickel, I think we see a lot of them because, you got to remember, we say that we ran 3 safeties last year. So if you think Caleb put him out as the nickel safety, the Jordan Hancock role, and then you have Hartford and McLean. You also got to remember this though: our defense is going to look way different than it did last year, and we've been told that, Devin, and I'm not sure if people really believe it, but that's the truth. Our defense is going to look way different than it did last year, so it'll be interesting to see how we use all these weapons and we have a ton of guys who are desperate to see the field, especially in that secondary. We have about 10 bodies there that I would feel confident putting against pretty much. I would match up our backup secondary versus any teams in the Big Ten starting secondary, and I'll stand on that because I think it just we have a different team right now, and we still got to remember that there's. Yeah, my pet peeve is when we see these position group rankings on whatever X or Instagram or whatever the heck, and people have like Indiana's offensive line above ours, and I'm like. You don't know anything. Like you seriously don't. But Indiana's starting tackles didn't make it at Ohio State. They both didn't. They both their starting tackles are going to be Zen and the Ohio offensive lineman kid. I forget his name, but if you said it, I would know it. Both transfers here from Ohio State. Sorry, and yeah, they both were on practice team the majority of their time here. So I was kind of laughing at that stuff. And we just got to remember that literally our second team is better than 90% of these Big Ten teams and teams in the nation's first teams for a reason, because we retain our talent that we get and we develop. But a lot of other teams don't do. We lost 0 players in the spring portal. That's absurd.
B-Moses, I just have to add one thing to remember about our secondary. Remember, they go up against the best wide receiver core in the nation by a good margin. That's probably the number one thing. If you're a DB and you want to be the best, come beat the best. And doesn't that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And they listen. And our DBs they played a part. The battle is just great. And real quick, and we'll get to this at the end. But Brandon Ennis. He's a dog, and we'll get to him when we shift back to the offense. But real quick, we didn't even mention Sanchez, who looks great out there, by the way. But that's just another embarrassment of riches piece. But we already talked about the linebackers, so let's get to the D-line and finish up with the D-line on defense, because I got a few things to say about that. And we haven't gotten to the super chats. We got a couple, but I'm going to bring this in now because it's relevant to what I'm about to say. At Jeffrey McDowell, thanks for the 5. I realize he won't play this year, but Dominic Kirks looks good. Why does everyone act like that room has nobody? Thank you. They're acting like we have nobody because it's not all 5 stars. And, of course, Larry Johnson's a bum, and they're going to discredit anything he does. With that said, earlier today at practice, I was looking down. at my phone. I was trying to figure out who number 55 was. The two guys, shout out to y'all. We talked through the whole practice. It was a good conversation. I asked them on their roster, I said, hold on, who is 55? Who is 55? And they said, Dominic Kirks. I was like, this kid is, he kept popping, pressure, physical, making plays, stopping the run. He looked really good today. So to your point, Jeffrey McDowell, absolutely. He was like a key person in my notes on that defensive line. So I wanted to say something about him real quick, and we can kind of jump on some other guys on the D line. But go ahead, fellas.
But D Moses, he's not a top 100 recruit, so he can't actually do anything for Ohio
He doesn't
State.
count.
He doesn't count. He's ranked 200th in the country by whoever does the 247 rankings. He doesn't count, and he can't be effective here at Ohio State, you know?
But what if they're ranked outside the top 1,000? Can they do anything here? Nope.
Might as well send. I judge my 247 rankings more than I do Ohio State staffers' eyes who get paid for this. You know, the good old fashioned.
Well, Funky, you go first, but I'll give an update on a player that was ranked outside the top 1,000, plays at Ohio State when it's my turn. You'll probably mention him. I know you will, actually.
Oh, no, I won't. I know who you're talking about, but I'll let you have that one. But,
okay.
I mean, I heard today people are like, wow, Bo Atkinson was very disruptive. Yeah, I know. We were trying to say that. Bo Atkinson's, a player. He's a real player. He's going to be really effective on this year's defensive line. And someone who I think I was even sleeping on was Kenyatta Jackson. Because I know I rewatched his Oregon or the Rose Bowl highlight tape, and I really noticed Kenyatta really he really popped. But I was still sleeping on him a little bit. And after seeing how he looked today at practice, how he looked this week in general at practice, and him becoming an Iron Buckeye, and him being a dude of the week, and I'm like, wow, he's a Goliath. He's a true Goliath. And seeing all this praise about him, at first you think it's kind of BS, you know, it's like, oh, of course they're gonna hype up the whatever, but in reality, no, this seems like real hype. And Kenyatta, looks apart, and he looks like, a legit NFL player. And I really do think Ohio State fans really might like this year's defensive line better than they did last year's defensive line, for the sole reason that I feel like this year's defensive line is more disruptive in pass pro than
I agree.
Last year's team was. I think we might struggle a little more versus the run and in the red zone. But I think in pass pro on 1st and 10 on the 25, I think that's when we're really going to shine compared to, because people really didn't. Jack was just, a step slow at times. And JTT, again, was also a step slow in those pass pro situations a lot of the time. So people were really upset about that. But JTT was a, top 50 pick in the NFL draft. And Jack Sawyer, when it mattered, and his prime of his life, was a step quicker. I don't know how, but I always laugh at that. Somehow Jack Sawyer was just a step quicker in the playoffs than he was for his prior 4 years at Ohio State. Don't know what that was, but man, he was good. So, but I'm excited to see how much. I really do think we're gonna get to the quarterback a lot, and the fact that our offensive line gets to go against this defensive line every day at practice is a blessing. Because I think they both are, top of the nation, and there's not going to be that much growing pains, hopefully, when we play against Texas, who does have a really great defensive line, but who has a struggling offensive line. So maybe this defensive line, we might eat them alive, with a new snap count. We're replacing 4 to 5 starters in the offensive line, replacing their quarterback, replacing their 2 running backs. Man, I could see some miscommunications happening in the shoe, because we know we'll be giving our best efforts. At least I will be there. Will you be there, B. Moses? Texas?
I am. It's funny. My wife was just asking me, like, what's up with the Texas tickets? I was like, I need to get on this. But them prices is irritating me. Like,
the prices are
should
scary.
I wait till a couple of days before? I don't know. But I'm going to make it. We got to be in there. I'm going.
Do not wait a couple of days before. It will backfire.
Only for the natty, though. For this, who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see.
I guess my only experience in that is don't do that for the playoff games. Yeah, I did that twice. And I ended up paying double what I thought I was going to pay.
I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna make it. I have to be there, Funky. Like, so I'm gonna make it happen somehow. But with that said, let's move on. So
I'm gonna hit the D line.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, dude. I got updates for days for the D line. It's the one I've paid most attention to when I call sources. Yeah, I want to know about it, so I'll try to keep this low. We needed some people to take a step forward, particularly the backups. First off, K-Mac, Edric Houston's fine, by the way. We've already known that, but I'll reiterate it again. He was dressed today, didn't do too much, but he's just fine. Kenyatta Jackson is an absolute animal. K-Mac was just destroying people today, smashed Sam Williams-Dixon on something. And then the other side, Caden Curry is showing out as well, Bo Atkinson. But the ones that are stepping up, we've already heard about Will Smith Jr., but Tywan Malone was getting in there a lot today, and he's showing up a little bit. And those are the guys we need. And another one who looks good, who always looks good, CJ Hicks, man, on the edge. I don't know. I'm starting to gain some confidence that he's going to be a big time problem in specific, packages this year.
Yep.
He just, when you watch him go through the defensive end drills with all the other defensive ends, I mean, he is clearly a step.
I mean,
he's quick, bro. Fast. So we'll see what he can do. I do not share the freak out concerns with a lot of Buckeye fans about our defensive line. I don't, man, but the one I got to mention, Eric Mensah, a recruit that we stole from Virginia Tech, ranked outside the top 1,000. His name got brought up. His name got brought up before fall camp to me, and now it's get brought up again when Edric Houston was out. Who took his spot? And now, again, they were split in twos, but Eric Mensah got in there as well. So we got some dogs waiting in the back, man. This is Ohio State. This isn't Rutgers. This is Ohio State. We have some players behind our starters.
And it's funny, no one brought up Eric Mensah, Devin, until, about a week ago when I heard it from you. Then I heard it from the helping technician out of Ohio State,
right,
or on BuckeyeScoop.com, and he said his breakout player is Eric Mensah. And I was like, who is this? Who is Eric Mensah? And then all of a sudden, was looking over the practice tape, and I was hearing people from practice, and they're like, who stepped in after Edric Houston? And they said Eric Mensah. And I was like, oh my God, that's the person. That's the person that Devin and helping technician had at BuckeyeScoop.com, about a week earlier than, people were never bringing him up. They're bringing up Will Smith Jr. They're bringing up all these other guys, but hey, it ended up being Eric Mensah. So must have been a lucky guess, Devin. Lucky guess on your part there.
For sure. Me and the helping technician, every once in a while, we'll get lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that and Billy Fessler being promoted to quarterback coach are my two favorite lucky guesses of the offseason. Yeah.
It's almost like Scoop had it first. I don't know, but anyway.
Just maybe, yeah.
So, real quick on the D-line, one thing I noticed today, and you touched on a lot of stuff, your boy McDonald, Kate McDonald, okay. We love him. We love him. He was great on goal line stands, plug in the middle. But today, what I saw him doing, he ran down a running back, or was it a tight end? I think it was a tight end. He ran down a ball carrier in the flat, like McDonald. And I had to do a double take to make sure it was him. And, obviously his team was, the defense was fired up because the effort, the big fella, the D tackle out there in the flat, making a tackle, not stopping, super impressive. So my love for McDonald just skyrocketed even more. I didn't even think it was possible. But this defense, man, this D-line, I was thoroughly impressed. This is circling back to what we said earlier, Devin. Remember I said I'll wait till later?
Yeah.
I'm right now, as of today, I'm more excited about this defense than I am the offense. And that's saying a lot based off of what I saw today in practice. And I was just impressed with the effort. Just the effort alone was like, yo, like they're hungry. Like they defy you to doubt them. Now they got to go out in the field and prove it. But in practice so far, thoroughly impressed. And real quick, 10 seconds, Kenyatta Jackson, he looks the part. Absolutely. He looks like the guy. These players are gushing over him. Hey, he's the next guy. He's coming. He looks like it on the field. So that's all I'll say for the sake of time. But anything else on the D-line, fellas, before we move on?
We're moving on to at least one more position group, right?
Oh, yeah.
We can't have – okay.
Go ahead.
We can't have a show without talking about the quarterbats. But
that's what I'm saying. That's what we got. We got to finish
sure, bro.
QBs. We got to finish with the QBs and the running backs and the O line. And
cool. All right.
So we still got 3 more position groups, so we good.
So we got a 2-hour show then, is what you're saying.
No, we go. I'm gonna try to keep it. I'm gonna try to. I'm Moses leading the people through the waters. I gotta lead us through. Shout out to
Bro,
Tim
you
May.
you can't have B Moses, Devin, and Funky on and think we're going to talk about every position group in an hour. I mean,
yeah, I'm trying, but listen, I was talking to Tim May at practice earlier. He had a bunch of Moses jokes about me leading the people out and all this other stuff. So I'm still in that mode, okay. And so I'm gonna lead us out in an efficient way. We gonna knock this out without rushing, but efficient. All right, boom. I'm talking too much. I'm messing up the efficiency. Anyway. Let's get to which I want to do first. QB, O-line, or receivers? Which one?
Let's go to the O-line.
O-line, perfect. So let me crack it off. All right. I predicted in me and Nevada's bold prediction show a couple weeks ago that this offensive line is going to win the Joe Moore Award. Okay. Bold prediction. But to your point, Funky, earlier, laughing at the publication that said Indiana's line is better than like this line is, look, just physically looking at them mauling is just impressive. We got 4 returning starters from a national title run. Okay. One guy that stood out to me today, they all looked good. Of course, Ethan looks like a monster. They all looked physically, the part, and they were doing a great job. But you know who really stood out to me as just sharp and just a leader? Carson Hinsman. Carson Hinsman. Remember when he got kind of pressed into service at an early age, and he was solid. He did a good job considering, but the concern was his strength. Was like he needed more strength. Not now. He looks like an ox out there. He plays like it. He looks in control. He just jumped out. You know how you see a guy and it's just like, oh yeah, he's the guy. Like he's the leader. And I'm not saying he is the leader per se because Sarahveld is out there. I'm just saying he looks like it. So Hinsman really jumped out to me today as a guy who I feel like is just going. He's working his way into another great center that we're going to send into the NFL.
Yeah, I have to add on to that because we can't forget what happened last year. I mean, that was absolute coaching malpractice. The fact that we didn't see Carson Hinsman until the Penn State game?
Yep.
Because he was great last year again. He had another fantastic year as a redshirt sophomore. Really, I'll give him a second year starting there. It was coaching malpractice that we didn't see him until then. It just was. I don't know what the heck that was. I think that was frankly ridiculous, but we move on. And I think you're totally right, B. Moses. Carson has been making improvements every single year. And it's not every day that we see a guy start his 3rd year at Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's just that you never see that, especially in the offensive line. So I think Carson Hinsman, you're right, is the anchor of this this offensive line. I think him and Austin Sarahveld with Ethan are just, 3 fantastic NFL style, NFL draft picks type players. And then you mix in the Tigra and Luke and Phillips. It's a fantastic offensive line. And you're right. This offensive line should win the Joe Moore. Honestly, that's their expectations. But there should be no expectations in having this be the best offensive line in the country this year, which is, hard to say it because last year we just had the best offensive tackle in the league, Josh Simmons, and that's proven by what he's doing in this rookie camp. If you ask anyone who's watching these Kansas City Chiefs, they're like, damn, Josh Simmons is like the best player we have, the best offensive lineman we have. And he showed that by winning the left tackle spot in like 3 days. They won it so badly that everyone else moved the right tackle, So he clearly must have kicked butt fast for a guy who is coming off a knee injury of that bad, And then we also lost Seth McLaughlin, who was the Remington Award winner. And somehow we're going into this year thinking that we still have the best offensive line in the country. That's a credit to Coach Fry. There's that thing that dropped about our blue chip ratio. I'm sure y'all saw it. And we have the highest blue chip ratio in the entire college football in the offensive line room. Did you know that, B. Moses?
I did not know that.
So all that stuff about recruiting and blah, 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 we have the highest blue chip ratio. We know that doesn't mean everything. We trust me, we know that doesn't mean everything. We see 3-star Austin Sarahveld. He's probably one of the best offensive linemen we have. Or he probably is the best offensive lineman we have. You ask anyone in the Woody right now. and he was a 3-star Ohio kid. So we know stars don't mean everything, but they certainly do mean something because teams with higher stars usually win more games. But again, that coaching staff we've had, it's been amazing. And having those 3 offensive line coaches, Devin and B. Moses, I mean, that's fantastic. We're getting so much work done with 15 guys at practice constantly, and it's been fantastic. I've been seeing Josh Padilla look really good, Carson Hinsman look really good. Like I said, Trayvon McFadden looks apart. He looks like a dude, and that's someone no one even wanted. He was like a person that we cried about getting. And then obviously we have those starters from last year, and Ethan, who just looks like a man child. So I'm very excited.
A woolly mammoth out there, a woolly, athletic woolly mammoth.
I mean, he does, and he's the reason I'm excited for the. About that, he's the reason I'm excited for the offense this year. I think we're gonna. I mean, every position group I could argue is the best in the country. So I'm very excited for this whole entire process.
I might make some people mad here, but we're talking about, first off, chat, do you agree this offensive line is going to be one of the best in the country? I know your answer is yes. My next question is, okay, how many 5-star tackles are on this line that's going to be one of the best in the country? Well, there's not one, just to let you know. Our right tackle wasn't 3-star. Funky said it like it says NA on his ranking beside 247. Ethan Onianwa played at Rice, right? You know, our highest offensive line tackle that we have, Tegra Shabola, was ranked 36th in the nation, right? And you would probably vote him as maybe not the best offensive lineman that we have. So just wanted to remind people of that real fast. But the biggest thing in this fall camp that I'm seeing, it makes me want to apologize to Justin Fry for his recruiting. When you see the depth that we have, Gabe Van Sickle is coming up, right, in conversations, which is crazy. You know, the backup tackles that we have, Ian Moore and Phillip Daniels, those are our backup tackles. Like, we've never had depth like that. And you know, Josh Padilla backing up the center, and, you know, Funky's bringing up freshmen, Jake Cook and Javon McFadden. I mean, the depth in this room, and the way that Ohio State, how do you say it when you look at a recruit and analyze them or whatever? They're I'll pick their evaluations over the 247 star rankings now more than ever with what I'm seeing on this offensive line.
Yeah, no doubt, and that's a good lesson, good reminder, Dev. I know some people, you ruffled some feathers of the stargazers with no nuance and no you know, ability to acknowledge that it's not always about the stars, but it's about development and evaluation. But anyway, so yeah, let's move on efficiently to, let's go to the we'll end with the quarterbacks. Let's go to the receivers. All right. So first and foremost, I'll kick it off. I'm high on Brandon Ennis. Okay. Me and Nevada have talked about this. You know, his guy is Graham. Listen, my guy is Graham. He's going to be great. But I think, first of all, in my notes, I put down Brandon Ennis equals leader. Like, you can hear him out there in practice barking and commanding and grabbing. I was about to say something that was going to sound real pause. I was going to say grabbing balls. He doesn't drop any passes. This is my point, okay? The kid is tough, physical, a leader, vocal leader. I mean, I think he looks quicker than he did last year. And he's really, I keep comparing him to KJ Hill, just with the dependency and, you know, you know, killing you on digs and crossers and, you know, stick routes. And he may not be the long, deep ball, flashy 9-route guy. And I'm not saying he's not capable of that. I'm saying he's going to eat underneath, and he's going to replace Abuka, because we saw Abuka be a physical blocker on the edge and even out of the backfield sometimes. He's going to assume that role. And so that's the first thing that jumped out to me. I don't even got to say nothing about Jeremiah Smith. We saw the crazy catch today. He's a dog. I'm not going to waste time talking about Jeremiah Smith.
He's pretty good.
Like, what's the point? Yeah, let's move along. Okay, he's an
it's either him or Ryan Williams that are best in college football. Either one of the two.
It's just, you know, whatever. So So who else? Oh yeah,
Whatever.
the other one I was gonna say is Porter. Porter.
Quincy.
If Quincy Porter, number 11, if he was on any other team, he'd be freshman. Oh my God, freshman phenom. Like he's gonna start. Like he looks really, really good. And he runs routes better than I thought he did. Looking at him in person, I mean, he's really smooth. He's 6'3", 225, 220. I mean, he's a dog too. But again, he's in a room full of monsters. And so on any other team, he's getting like big time freshman buzz, breakout freshman type stuff. So I'm not going to belabor the point about the receivers. Y'all can touch on other stuff, but I did want to mention Brandon Ennis as a leader really stepping out to me. Really jumping out at me today in practice. Go ahead, fellas.
I think we see more of Brandon as well. I think he's just more, right, like you said, he's the leader and he's a better blocker than I think Mylan is. So I definitely think we see more Brandon. And Brandon was so reliable last year. There were some huge third downs that they went to Brandon and they got. I mean, Carnell and Brandon saved us in the playoffs. People don't realize that until you rewatch the games and you are like, oh, 3rd and 5. Brandon is wide open. Oh, Carnell made a great catch versus Texas. I mean, we don't beat Texas without Carnell. And Brandon really kind of solidified that Notre Dame game. And we probably win that game without him anyways. But besides the point, he was a great player for us the entire year versus Penn State, versus a bunch of other teams. But the big player I want to stress on, like you said, it's Quincy Porter. And Quincy Porter will always be one of my favorite players because we can say this straight up. Quincy Porter, I thought he was going to flip the Michigan for a second there, B. Moses and Devin. I mean, y'all know that.
Yeah.
He was getting offered hundreds of thousands of dollars more to flip the Michigan. Hundreds of thousands of dollars as an 18, 17-year-old kid. And he said, screw that. I'm going to go sit on the bench at Ohio State for 2 years and then earn my money as a junior and a senior, which is insane, which is just crazy. And he'll always have my full respect, and he'll always be one of my favorite players of all time, assuming he sticks with us for 3 or 4 years because he did that. Because he's a stand-up kid, and he's a stud. But he knows you have to be patient. Like Brandon said today, the biggest thing he learned at Ohio State is you got to be patient. You got to be patient, and they all know that because all these kids would, like you said, would get first team reps anywhere else they go. But Ohio State, you won't sniff the field for 2 years. So it's different here. It's just different, especially in that wide receiver room. It's different.
Real quick, Devin. A very wise man I heard say culture over currency. Who was that wise man? Dev, the floor is yours, sir.
It might be them boys, man. Shout out them boys chat right there. So check this out. As far as playing time concerns, my prediction is that there are 2 Brandons in the top 4 receivers on this team. Or no, there's not. I meant Brandon Ennis. I meant to say Bryson Rogers. Bryson Rogers is that 4th one that I think he's going to be the number 4 receiver as far as playing time goes. I'm going to skip over Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. They're both better than Ryan Williams, so I'm going to skip over them, right? No need to. Brandon Ennis, watch him after the catch this year, and you'll see. I think that's what's to pay attention to there. But, man, Quincy Porter, Mylan Graham, and then you got Phillip Bell, who shined in the spring game as well. You got Bodpin Miller, who is this athletic freak of nature, right? He'll test in top 10 on the team, right? And as far as those agility tests go and whatnot. But, I mean, shoot, dude. Brian Hartline. We could do a whole show on this receiver core. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know I didn't mention somebody that you guys are screaming about, but I promise you I'm aware of them. No worries at the wide receiver position. That'll help us speed the show up a little bit, B. Moses.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Again, it's like Tate. I mean, there was no need. It's just Jeremiah Smith and Tate. We know what they're going to do.
Yeah,
and so they're just great. So, but last position. Let's talk about these QBs. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all go first on this. I got my notes. I can tell you what I saw and all that. But Funky, what's your thoughts on the QB battle, and just the position in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's like every year we go through this and we're like, okay, we know who the starting quarterback's going to be. And then we say it, we're like, oh, yeah, it's the starting quarterback. And then we get to the camp and we hear the, Ryan Day propaganda train and try to change our minds. And people are like, oh, Lincoln looked really good. Lincoln looked really good, guys. But now it's Julian. It's just Julian. Lincoln, kudos to him. He worked his butt off. He's definitely a good player. I think he would start at 70% of team. He'd start at Michigan. I'll say that. He would start at Michigan. But it's just Julian's different. And I don't think people really realize what they have yet. But he's just different. And yeah, so yeah, it's Julian saying, but I definitely can see Lincoln getting in there because I was told, about a month ago at this point, that Lincoln will see the field at Ohio State. He will see the field in week 1. That's what I was told. He will 100% play in the first week of the season. So I assume that means he'll be in some goal line stances, some goal line, some 4th and shorts. Looks like they're trying to get him extra bulky for these, probably these run packages or read option packages. But I'm not sure what they exactly have planned, but that would make sense. I need to stop saying but. So, oops. But Julian saying, oh God, yeah. Julian saying's him, and I'm excited to watch Julian play week 1 for Ohio State.
Well, B. Moses, I got to give you the whatnot first off, because I'm upset with you for saying that the final position is the QBs when there's another position group. That's a pretty big deal, man.
Teams. Tressel,
yeah, man, the kickers.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I love you, Tressel. I love you, Tressel.
But anyway,
but hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
There's a super chat that pertains to that, so we're going to hit the special teams in the super chat. So I had a plan. Moses had a plan for the people, but go ahead.
Trust in Moses. He will part the waters. Anyway, okay. What was I going to say? All right. So I want to remind people this time last year, exactly, right? 3 days in the fall camp. This is what it was. Will Howard and Devin Brown, the same things coming out, right? The coaches saying the same things. Well, fast forward, and we know Ryan Day has already stated that this time last year, he knew Will Howard was the starter, right? He knew it already, right? So I want to remind people of that real fast. I expect it to be Julian saying Lincoln Keenholz is good enough to play here, or he would not be here, and Ryan Day wouldn't have kept him from going in the portal and going somewhere else. Hearing a lot of positive things from Lincoln, but I just think Julian's that dude when it comes to throwing the football, which is what do we know Ryan Day wants his quarterback to do more than, and this might sound stupid, but more than anything, and that is throw the ball, do not run. And he will have him run, but the only up Lincoln has on Julian is his legs, but we're talking about Ryan Day right now. Okay. So he's going to go for the passing quarterback. And, what I'm hearing is when Julian has his high moments, he has his high moments, but when he has his low moments, they are low. And I just want to remind people, dude, first time starting quarterback, show me one that doesn't fit that build right there, the highs and the lows. So you're going to go through that. But when you surround a 5-star quarterback with JJ, Tate, Claire, these weapons, it's just like, how can you not succeed? You know what I mean? One way or the other. Yeah. So I'm not stressing it, man. And it's like Funky said, I'm not sure how much you should pay attention to when it comes to like beat stuff that comes out during these camp settings and all that. But Lincoln's a good quarterback and probably looks very, very good in fall camp. He probably looked good today, B. Moses, but what did you see?
Yeah, wait, before B. Moses gets to talking, I just want to add that, like, Julie, you just got to remember the defense is always going to look better than the offense, especially in practice early on. It just always is. If it's the other way around, then we're in big, big, big trouble. It's not just the reality of things. Defense, it's always just quicker learning, quicker, faster pace. So we'll really see how Julian looks week 1. It'll be interesting. Rarely you get to go against the second best team in the country in your first week ever, in your first game ever starting at quarterback. So I can definitely see him and Arch struggling that game, or I'd be really shocked if they both didn't. But now I'll let you go, B. Moses.
No, that's a good point, and that's a good jumping off point for me. I have some other things to say, but that's good because, yes, you're right. Early in fall camp, the defense usually has the jump on you. And so they know what you're doing. A lot of this stuff is predictable, and it's just like run it. Beat your man and run it. Block your guy. And so we have to take that in consideration. I don't think Julian looked bad at all today. I mean, he was pretty sharp most of the time. He had some throws he wanted back, but for the most part, he looked in command. And that quick release was quick releasing today. I mean, and seeing it in person is very impressive, getting that ball out of his hands. So I thought both QBs looked solid. Listen, I have perspective because it's early in fall camp and it's new starters we're making it. I'm not expecting them to look perfect or like CJ Stroud in his third year, but I can see the talent. With that said, yes, Funky, I predicted a few weeks ago that they're going to have Lincoln in short yardage and red zone packages. And I just can't, they have to. Like, why not? Because Lincoln, he's really good. I think the one thing he may still need to really work on is maybe his deep ball. But short stuff, like, quick throws, little fades, 50-50 balls, he can definitely throw that very well from what I saw today. So putting him in red zone packages where he's a true threat to actually throw the ball up to one of our big tight ends or JJ Smith or whatever, but knowing he has the legs, I think can really, really be an asset. Now, speaking of legs, one thing I saw with Saying in person is he's not slow. He can scoot a little bit. And I'm not saying he's Braxton Miller, but when he takes off, like, he can pick up a first down. Like, he can get you with his legs if there's a wide open lane. So it's good to have seen that as well. But yes, it's Saying is a starter. Last thing I'll say is that Ryan Day. Okay, so it's how can I put it? It's kind of a two-edged sword. On one hand, I can see how people say that he's kind of coach speaking as with the QB battle. But I've studied and watched Ryan Day enough to know that Ryan Day, even if there's a guy who is in the league, what he does, he does what he does to get them to understand they have to still win the job. Even though you're the projected guy and you should win it and you're the best guy, you have to go and take the job. You have to go and win your brothers in the locker room, win the leadership role. Like, you got to step up and take it. He just doesn't want people, or not people, but QBs to just assume it's going to be handed to them, even if they're the guy. Y'all see what I'm saying? This is like, and I respect that. I understand that as a former QB, you want your guy to step up and earn it. That goes to Justin Fields. That goes to whoever. And so I understand the psyche of Ryan Day. So that's why I personally don't really trip over what he does, because I know what he's trying to get at. But with that said, it's Julian Saying he's going to start against Texas. So,
I agree.
All right. Amen. So listen, let's go ahead and get the super chats. And then with the super chats, we're gonna touch on special teams real quick. So first, I already read off Jeffrey's super chat, about Dominic Kirk. So thank you for that once again. But we got P Mula 10. Thanks for the 2. Sonny and Reese could be the new Shazier and Darren Lee. That's a dope comparison. Yeah, that's a dope comparison. And our linebackers, man, just in general, the speed and athleticism that's been re-injected into that room with Pettyjohn and Alford and Reese and obviously Sonny Styles and Peyton Pierce. Don't sleep on him. Like, our linebacker room, the future just looks really, really bright. But what y'all got on that?
I think they're really good. To be honest with you, I don't think I watched Shazier and Darren Lee play, or at least I watched them play, but not football mindset where I can actually break down their play like that. But we have a dang good linebacker room, and this is, I guess, the only one I can really compare it to is the Jerome Baker year, 2016. We had a pretty dang good linebacker room as well. But besides that, I can't think of a better one in my head. Definitely not recently. I mean, you have like Tuff Borland. He was a good player. Pete Warner, good player. Still plays in the NFL. But I think both the players we have right now are better than any of the guys I just listed.
Yeah. The diversity in the entire room. I mean, Peyton Pierce is different from Sonny Styles, which is different from Reese. And then you got Riley Pettyjohn and TJ Alfred. And then Sincere Johnson coming in behind him with another CJ Sauna. It's just like, dude, thank you, James Laurinaitis, for what you're doing, bringing LBU back to where it needs to be.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. All right. So we got Wholesome Necessity. Thank you for the $1.99. Mylan Graham over Ennis. My quick response to you, sir, is why not both? They're both going to play. They're both going to be in the rotation. Rogers is probably going to be the fourth guy and all that, but they will both play. And I think Ennis is going to play more than Graham, just because he brings more to the table at this point, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think Ennis is going to be in there to do more dirty work. And, he's more veteran at this point, but both will play. But hey, it's good. It's good to debate over. We gonna pull out the Bugatti today or the Rari. I mean, what are we talking about here? What y'all got, fellas?
I think they both play each other next year. I mean, I think I could see. Oh my God, I can see who are we just talking about? Ennis. We can see Ennis coming back. Yeah. Oh my Lord, how to brain fart there. I can see Ennis coming back for his senior year. So and then obviously Mylan and JJ. So I think we're going to see both of them play with each other next year, and that's going to be another solid wide receiver room for the Buckeyes next year.
Crazy.
I mean, you could argue that Mylan Graham's ceiling might be higher than Brandon Ennis, and
sure,
maybe has a better skill set, but there's more to football than just skill set. There's leadership, knowing the playbook, and all that stuff. And Brandon Ennis will be able to match, if you flip-flop them this year, the production's going to look the same out of both those guys. Brandon Ennis is, go back to his recruiting class. He was on the same level as Mylan Graham as far as recruiting goes. I mean, Brandon Ennis is that dude, man. He's just been stuck behind first-round wide receivers.
Right.
It's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, and Mylan's twitchy, though. I think Mylan's faster than Ennis. Yeah, but again, I also think it's just another thing that we're going to say about is it's the shiny new toy. People always going to love the shiny new toy over the one that we've already seen before a little bit. But I think Ennis is a first-round draft pick at wide receiver. I think he will be, not this year, but next year, because he's legit, a star. It's just hard to see it right now when you're the fourth best wide receiver on your team, like he was last year.
Yep, for sure. All right, we got the last super chat here. And this is going to send us into the special teams discussion. Tyke Roner, thanks for the $1.99. Who's going to be special teams returner? Ennis, somebody else. So at practice, I saw Ennis, I saw Turbo Rogers, I saw JJ Smith, Caleb Downs, and there was one other guy. Who am I missing? Mylan Graham. They were all back repping at punt returner. I know some people are just, oh my God, how dare you put JJ Smith back there? I get it, but hey, he's a weapon. I can see them at least toying with it. But I think Brandon Ennis, in my opinion, he was catching it the cleanest. Not that JJ Smith was bobbling it. He just looked the most fluid doing it. I think he's going to end up being the guy. So that's just my opinion. But I guess here's the thing I'll say to y'all. I really want to see if Ennis looks faster this year like he appears to, because at times last year, I felt like if he had a little more speed, he could have got out and maybe scored or broke one. So I think he's the most reliable to field the punt, and he's the most durable to really, pick up some tough yards and whatever. But I don't know if he's the fastest to get to the edge like a Mylan Graham or someone like that to really take it to the crib. But we'll see. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be Caleb and Brandon as your main punt / kick returners, and then you see Mylan in there. So I think it's them two plus Mylan.
Got you, Dev.
Yeah, I definitely I agree. Brandon Ennis is going to be the main dude back there again with Caleb. You have to give Caleb Downs, for obvious reasons, a shot at it again. And I don't really know about the third option there. I mean, I could see him letting JJ Smith take a shot at it just because he's JJ Smith, and if he wants to do it that bad, they might let him. But I don't know. The only ones I know, Brandon Ennis and Caleb Downs, are going to be back there returning punts. But I mean, can I talk about the kickers real quick?
Oh yeah, if you have anything on it, for sure.
That's next.
Yeah. So Jaden Fielding today, they got out there and did a little kicking, man, and was told that Jackson Corvell, the transfer kicker, clearly has the stronger leg, but the more consistent one was Jaden Fielding. So there you go. I told you I had something on the kickers. there it is, stuff that we already assumed, but that was in every source is going to say something different. B. Moses was there today. He might have saw something different, but I was told from somebody that's what it is. That Jaden Fielding's leg has gotten stronger, but the Jackson Corvell still has the stronger leg. But
we got another super chat, B. Moses, but a quick 5 seconds question for y'all. Do we see two kickers out there? Do we see a 45-plus yard field goal kicker and a 45 and under field goal kicker, or do they just roll one out there? I want to see what y'all think.
I think we see both. Go ahead, Dev.
I think the answer is yes on that one because we've attempted the long kicks with Jaden Fielding, and we went in the portal and got a kicker with a big leg for a reason. So
exactly,
Yep, I could see that. It's just kind of a weird thing. It's like
it is,
yeah. But who knows? But they're special just for a reason. So yeah. But we got a super chat, so don't miss that.
Yep. I see it. Appreciate you.
Perfect.
So, well, first of all, anything else on special teams? I mean, I think that was really the extent I wanted to hit is the kickers because that's obviously important and it's lost us games before. So, how Fielding ended the season last year was encouraging, and how he's been doing now is encouraging. So I'll just say that we need to do whatever we need to do to solidify the special teams as a true weapon and a reliable position. And so if that means a distance kicker and a shorter kicker, so be it. So, yeah. All right.
The punter, I want to see Nick McClarty, the 6'7" Australian punter who can punt it out of a stadium. He was named the starter last year, and we never saw him punt it once. So, man, I hope he wins that battle, dude.
Yeah. The 6'7" punter is crazy work. Just even think, and I've seen him in person a couple of times. I mean, he's a big dude. It is just crazy. But all right, Lisa Scherer, thanks for the $4.99. I am very intrigued by Coach Lachlan. Think he has been underappreciated, and he will shine this year with new running backs who will help out the new QB. Yes. I'll say this, Lisa. He hasn't been underappreciated by us. Like, we've been rocking with Lach since he's been here. Like, I've been impressed with him. First of all, his interviewing skills, or his how can I put it, him in press conferences, answering questions and addressing things and sharing his insight on his thoughts and perspective as a coach and whatever. Like, he's just been impressive out the gate. And then seeing him interact with the players and then hear the players talk about how he just came in immediately and they was just like, hey, this guy earned our respect like right off the jump. So, but yes, maybe some of the public is, but here at the Scoop, we rocks with Lach, right, fellas?
Absolutely. He's my favorite, one of my favorite coaches on the staff for sure.
Yeah, he's my favorite. First class, you signed 2 top 10 running backs in the same class. You count me in.
That's pretty good.
Yep, exactly. So, I got a lot of love for Lach, man. But got another super chat. Jeffrey McDowell, again, thanks for the 2. Going to level up that room again quickly. So, which room are you referring to?
Probably
Jeffrey,
running back.
Are you talking about the running backs? Okay, because I didn't know the timing
Probably.
Of when you sent it. Because it says 9. Okay, never mind. Yep, probably like running backs. Yep, again, yep. We just sent 2 high in the draft, and now it's just like we got dogs all over again. And like I said, after watching today, I knew Turbo Rogers was a good prospect from Bama, but seeing him in person and kind of jumping out, I was like, man, we gonna be all right, down the road with our running back. So I think that's it for super chats. But great show, fun show. I've been wanting to do a show with y'all for a while again. Things have shifted, have changed, and all that. So it's been a pleasure rocking with y'all today, man. I got a lot of love and respect for y'all. So great show. Had a lot of fun, man, for sure.
Yeah, I got one.
You go.
I got one last thing real fast, guys. If you're not sick of hearing about updates, man, I'm doing a show over on my Buckeye Boys channel with Buckeye Backers. He was there today as well after this one. So as soon as this is done, head over to the Buckeye Boys channel if you want to hear some more updates, man. We'll fill you in. But yeah, dude, every time coming on here, B. Moses and Funky, I feel like it's like we're sitting down on a couch talking football. It's the conversations we would have whether somebody was watching us or not. So it's smooth. I love it, man.
No, I mean absolutely. That's how it felt for me too, Devin. 'Cause I looked at the time, I'm like,
Yeah.
holy crap! I was sitting there for
I
100 minutes. Holy, yeah, I could barely stand still for 10 minutes most of the time. So, but yeah, no, another great show. Yeah, good to be back with B Moses and again with Devin. Thanks for y'all who are watching. Pretty good show for a Saturday night, and got a lot of. We went through. I mean, everybody. I went through pretty much every person's name I could name. So what a show. My brain, I'm going to deserve my dinner tonight, B. Moses and Devin. It's going to be good. I'm excited. But we'll be back at it tomorrow, like always.
Yep. And also, one last thing I'll declare from the mountaintops with my Moses staff, Ohio State, good at football. Buckle up, guys. It's going to be another great year, another talented roster. Sleep on us if you want and all that. But these boys is hungry and they coming. And listen, we're going to go ahead and end it. Y'all have a fantastic Saturday night. If you haven't done already, make sure on your way out, like this video and subscribe. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. All right? Peace.
Peace.